Deadlock is getting its own hero pre-match interactions. Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at a few Deadlock voice lines and interactions that are slowly making their way into Deadlock's test builds. This is great news if you're into Deadlock's potential growing world, lore and story, and there are just a couple in the game so far I've managed to piece together that are full ones. Now, quick warnings, these lines are of course like the game, work in progress, early testing. They may well change and this could change at any time. And I like to talk about the lore and world building of voice lines and the world, so this won't just be the lines, there'll be a bit of me talking about them in their context and the heroes and characters involved as well. Timecodes, however, are in the description below if you just want to skip to the lines and listen to the lines. So let's get stuck in. The first set of lines we have are between mysterious character 7 and Detective Abrams. Now, it looks like Deadlock at the moment are setting up voice line interactions similar in a way to other games that you may have played. Valve actually have a lot of history with this, way back to Left 4 Dead and the original conversations the characters could have as you loaded into and went through various maps and levels. Recently, other games with environmental storytelling and pre-match, particularly in online games and competitive games, have picked this up, Overwatch, Valorant and many others too. Valve do this as well in Dota, so it's cool to see them getting stepped back into it. Okay, so a bit of context about 7 and about Abrams. Now 7 I talked about a bit in my previous video talking about the world of Deadlock, but 7 has effectively been, for whatever they've done, and there's something mysterious that they've done, been sent to Deadlock's equivalent of Alcatraz. They were about to have their soul annihilated, effectively scrubbed from existence, made uncontactable and unresurrectable. Probably the worst punishment you could have, I guess, in a Deadlock magic realism style universe. However, the world's 7 greatest mystics could not contain them and the execution went wrong. 7 broke from their bindings and proceeded to enact a fairly bloody vengeance on everyone involved. They are now apparently heading to New York. So 7, a very dangerous figure, and did something very, very bad. Abrams is a detective. Now, according to the New York Oracle newsstanding game, that he could well be carrying the Tome of Anubis. Detective Abrams has been known for being a good detective and private investigator until one day this tome dropped on his desk with a note scrawled in blood saying, "Don't let them have it." Having his home broken into, his office tossed 3 times and his car firebombed later, Abrams is trying to work out who wants this so badly and probably whether he should give it to them or keep it from them.
Detective Abrams?
I don't believe we've met.
Oh, we haven't. But I'm fascinated by what you hold.
If you think I'm letting you get your hands on my...
Well, don't worry, Detective. I know better. That tome is pulling you into deep waters, Detective. Be careful.
Yeah, don't know if I need life advice from somebody who was caught and executed.
Yet here I stand. Perhaps you should consider that I know what I'm talking about.
What did you do to end up in Lost Whisper?
I offended small-minded simpletons with fragile egos.
You don't try to obliterate someone's soul just because they offended you.
Your naivete is refreshing, Detective.
Some cool flavour as to how these characters might interact in the world of Deadlock if they were to run into each other. I would imagine these are kind of reflecting on canon, maybe not canon, that these two have met and that they're talking to each other. 7 even warning Abrams away from the tome, saying it's putting him to deep water. Now, a couple of things about 7 also from these lines. We don't know how they identify at the moment, but they are quite well spoken, they're quite intelligent sounding. They even say, in response to Abrams asking what they did, that they offended small-minded simpletons with fragile egos. So, really begs the question, what the hell did 7 actually do? Yeah, interesting one for the future of Deadlock Lore, be a big question already set up. Okay, next up we have some conversations between the Lash and Abrams. Now, Lash, if you haven't been introduced to him already, his bio literally just says in game, Jacob Lash is an asshole. But if you actually play Lash, or if you listen to his voice lines and his voice work a bit, you discover a little bit more about him. We know a few things about Lash. We know that he is a pit fighter. We know that he fights in a pit sort of fighting ring called the Bull Pit. This New York has a literal underground of a maze of tunnels that people use to move various materials in between its different boroughs, so the underground fighting ring is certainly picturable. We also know that Lash took the championship off of Bebop, some of his voice lines, in this underground blood sport. Bebop, of course, fighting for money to look after his ill sort of mentor and sort of adopted found family, Miss Shelley. Now, Lash also had a chunk of Neon Prime lore involving an ex that he was sort of semi-trying to impress, trying to win back. Now, that was when Deadlock was more of a cyberpunky, futuristic, neon-style vibe, lots of different character designs and a lot of different voice work and lore as well. It's not in Deadlock anymore. It was in the background till recently in some of the files, but who knows, maybe there's a future for Lash's ex or other pieces in future that might give us a softer side to otherwise what is almost of a Wrestler style, kind of bigger, larger than life persona. Lash, when he kills sort of some heroes, will say the best way of respect is for him to send an 8x10 photo to them or their family.
All right, Blue Boy, let's get to work.
My name's Abrams.
Probably not gonna remember that.
After we win, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Think you'll remember that?
Bluey, when this is over, if you want the Lash to send you to Night Land, you're welcome to try. I'm excited for you, Abrams. You get to bathe in the glory of Lash.
You are something else.
Just remember to say thank you when this is all over. So, what does it feel like?
Excuse me?
Being next to greatness. What does it feel like?
Nauseating?
No need to be nervous. I am approachable.
Oh, God.
So some pretty fun insights into the Lash there, but also just, I love Abrams' reaction to him. Oh God. Okay, given that we've introduced their characters already, a little bit of banter between Lash and Seven now for you.
Word on the street is you're some kind of boogeyman.
I'm not interested in chit-chat.
That's fine. The Lash knows how to carry a conversation.
There is no conversation.
The Lash does it again.
They say you have quite the ego.
Mediocre people say lots of unintelligent things.
On this, we can agree. You're the pit fighter, yes?
You mispronounced champion.
How similar to me.
Mistakes happen, Glowstick.
What did you call me?
Glowstick. It's your new nickname.
Call me that again, and I will pop your eyes like grapes.
7 it is.
So take a very straight-laced, serious character with big things on their mind and the Lash and put them together, and that's what you get. I do like Lash trying to call Seven Glowstick and the corresponding threat from Seven, and this is actually one of the notable examples. I need to have a listen through Lash again, but you don't see Lash giving people much respect, so clearly he takes that threat seriously from Seven. And last, and by no means least, a little conversation between Lash and Wraith.
Mendoza said you were going to take a dive in that fight.
Mendoza says a lot of stupid shit.
I lost a lot of money.
You didn't lose money. You spent it learning a valuable lesson. Never bet against Lash.
Now, the Mendoza Syndicate are mentioned as an organisation that Ivy spent the best part of 18 years, or so it sounds, driving out of Spanish Harlem in New York. So they're clearly still kicking around. We know that Wraith looks after a sort of big gambling organisation in New York. So this is where the two are crossing over, with Lash clearly not receiving the memo that maybe he was going to be throwing a fight. So some nice little insights into who may or may not know each other in the world of Deadlock as it grows. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you like this video, please throw a like, subscribe, comment with what you thought of the lines, what you thought of the personalities. It all super helps me out. And a bunch of Deadlock lore to come as the game evolves and continues. Excited to get stuck in. If you like exploring the lore and story of other video games, check out the playlist here for my Deadlock videos and those of other games that I've covered for the last bunch of years. Be great to see you. Cheers for tuning in. I've been Hammeh. Take it easy.